Hello friends. We are here today with the second installment of Wait What Theology. The segment where I find something that's kind of weird in the Bible and I examine it. Today we are talking about how we are made in the image of God. If you talk to a theologian about this, he will call this subject the Imago Dei. But don't fall for that. The Imago Dei just means the image of God, just in Latin. It comes from the creation story in Genesis, where when it came to God creating man, he said, "Let us make man in our image." And you have to wonder, what does this mean? It's very strange. What does it mean that we are made in God's image? It's hard to say because we don't know what God looks like. Do we actually look like God? It's pointing out in the beginning of Genesis that God created man in his image, but it says male and female, he created them. It's making it very clear that it's not just men that are made in the image of God. The Bible is making a point to say that women and men are both equally made in the image of God. We find out a little bit more about what it means to be made in the image of God later on. After God flooded the world, he was giving instructions to Noah about what to do now that he and his family are the only ones left on the earth. And he says, make sure that you don't kill man. If you kill a man, by man shall that man be killed. And it says, for this reason, because man was made in the image of God. So whatever it means to be made in the image of God, it means that we have intrinsic worth. That we shouldn't be killed because there is part of God that is reflected in us. There's another very interesting part in the Bible where it hints at being made in the image of God. And that is, the people were trying to trick Jesus. They were trying to catch him and saying something wrong. And so they asked him, should we pay our taxes? You know, a good, faithful Jew at that time would say, no, this is bad. We shouldn't have to pay taxes to the people who are oppressing us. And yet, if Jesus had said that, he would have been saying something that was against the law. But Jesus didn't say that. Jesus said, bring me a coin. And he says, whose image is on this coin? And they said, this is Caesar. And he says, render to Caesar that which is Caesar's, and render to God that which is God's. When we read that, we think, okay, so they're supposed to pay their taxes. But Jesus was saying something much more important than that. He was saying, whose image is on you? You were made in God's image. I feel like what Jesus is saying here is, you guys are playing with Monopoly money. Well, let's say that you're playing Monopoly. You know, everybody in the beginning of the game gets like $1,500. What if someone pulled up to the board and instead of having Monopoly money, he pulled up with real American currency? And he says, all right, let's play. It would change the stakes. You know, Monopoly money is only good in the Monopoly board. But the real money is good in the real world, everywhere in the world. You know, everybody recognizes that the American dollar has worth, it has value. But the truth is that Monopoly money probably has just as much worth and value as dollars and cents, except for we don't recognize it as currency. However, people, your life, it's something that has worth that is more than just earthly worth. It has heavenly worth, it has eternal worth, it has true worth. So the reason that we can't kill man is because they were made in the image of God. Now this means many things. You know, it changes your opinion on things like like racism, changes your opinion of abortion. It means that every person is equal. Everybody has the right to live. Everybody, no matter where they are on the spectrum of smart and dumb, on the spectrum of color, on the spectrum of age, on any spectrum you can look at, every person has the image of God. And they have worth.